I just want to say that at the LGS Foundation, we're tackling a lot of the issues that have come up today. And the first and foremost, our job is to listen to the families that we serve. About half of the families that were in that survey that Dr. Sullivan showed were over the age of 16. So our population is a lot of adults. And we're at a loss for what to do. I have a 29-year-old. We just left pediatric care because we were forced out because our pediatric neurologist retired, right? Yeah, so, so there's a lot of work that has to be done. But I think the point is, first of all, what do the families want? We need to bring in, this is what I heard, adults with LGS and their perspectives, which Geraldine is so great to be helping us with that right now. She agrees, and we're just tired, but we got to do it. Bringing in the adult neuros, I have no idea how to do that, Pete. They don't want to talk to us. They definitely don't want to talk to us. So, if each of you has a unique piece, if we are the chessboard that is mounting an attack against LGS, and yes, Kathy, I'm mounting an attack because I'm pissed off at LGS. Yes, she hates that word. Each of you are a critical chess piece in that, how you can help us. We're working with, our Medical Science Advisory Board, many who spoke today, on a Learn From Every Patient database. We have got to stop not tracking what we're doing to each of these patients. We have to be learning from them, and the foundation wants to take that on. So, we've talked about our own REDCap database, or modeling something like the TSC Alliance already has with their 11-year-long natural history, or we're working with RareX, which is more patient-entered data, right, across a lot of disease states. So we're tackling that and taking it on. I think the QI would be great. We need to bring that into our meeting of the minds. I think we need to sit down and have an honest conversation about clinical trials for the people that it's relevant with. And I think that we as conveners, that's what we do. That's what patient advocacies do. We listen to patients, we convene, and we try to change incentives by offering, for grants or different perspectives. Caregiver burden is real in our community, so we're trying to serve that. So if you know any patients with LGS that are not connected to the foundation, nobody really should walk this journey alone. It's horrific. There's also the rest of the family. What about siblings? They are just the neglected among the neglected. We're funding Dr. Schrey and his amazing work looking at biomarkers. We're funding the work I told you with Dr. Soltej and Ryan J., whose last name I can't say yet. We have a whole bunch of patients. So, one of the studies that I saw, a very small study, they say that we can identify the etiology in 90% of LGS patients, right? This is an adjudicated group of LGS patients. You go in our community, only 30% have any idea what their etiology is, right? And so we have a mixed community. We're going to have LGS-like, but if precision therapies come out around genetics, how are we tackling that, and how do we get that communication out there? And we have a whole bunch of neurologists, pediatric neurologists, that don't want to give the LGS diagnosis anymore. And that's fine, but I cannot get services for CACNA G8 mutation for my kid. I'm sorry. And by the time the system in my little small town figures out how to get services for CACNA G8 mutation, you're going to have done harm to my freaking kid, because it's going to take 50 years for that. So if they have LGS, we can't just sit in our ivory towers and get rid of that diagnosis today, right? Because it's going to do harm on the down end stream, where we actually get services by something that's been defined since the 50s and the 60s. And then sleep, I don't even know where the sleep researchers are or how to bring them in, but there is a connection between sleep and LGS. So, right, there she is. Well, you're hired. You're on the board. There we go. We got right now. You heard that, Renee Shellhouse, right there. We're hired. So I just would just say there's a lot that we have to cover, and we as patients, again, it's like if I could just walk away, it's like, how did this become our job again? But if we can convene, if we can facilitate conversations, if we can raise money, if we can ask families, then we will do that. And I hope that you guys will help us in your unique way, in something that is a good fit, because it's going to take absolutely all of us to move the needle on this disease. And some of it's ridiculous semantics and impressions and requires education, and some of it is really hard, laborious, hypothesis-driven research that we're going to have to push through. So I just want to thank all of you guys for coming today and sitting through it. Thank you for our wonderful speakers and our men that brought it home, Dr. Carino and Dr. Perry. And thank you most of all for all of you guys for being here. So thank you.